Warning, the following content may contain elements that are not suitable for some audiences. Viewer discretion is advised.
Fucking warning screen. Fuck Copa. Fuck that warning screen. I fucking deleted it because it wouldn't get the fuck off the screen. This is the Great Legend coming at you live. Sorry for the technical difficulties. StreamYard, more like the shit yard. It reminds me of the time Roman Reigns tried to get over in the WWE. Big dog? Nah, not his yard. Shit yard. Shityard.com for all your streaming elements. But anyway, fans, we got a kick-ass show for you tonight. This is the Great Legend. We're live. This is Comic Core Roundtable. We got some great shit going on tonight, man. Tonight's topic, what would you do if you were in control of DC? What would you do? How would you change it? How would you make it better? Also, we're going to be talking about the picks of the week and what's been going on in our pop culture world. But first, let me introduce to you the host of the Comic Core Roundtable. And I'm talking about, he's so fine, he's Seawood 19. What's up, Seawood?
Hey, oh my God. The first thing I would do if I was in charge of DC, I'd get rid of that stupid warning label. Like, just we're live, pal. I am so happy. It's Friday night. We're alive. We got this wonderful chat tonight. Let me get the comments box up here. Look at this. We got, I'm afraid I've got some bad news. We got Chris Barrett in the chat. He was camping out at 9:44 tonight. He's been waiting half an hour almost for the show to start. Welcome, Chris. We got our best friend in the whole wide world, the Stream Elements robot running Pajal something, whatever that means. Happy to have you, Stream Elements robot, with that moderator inch. For some reason, we got Scott Evans in the chat saying what's shaking, whatever that means. Nice to have you, Scott. We got Stacy's Fat Stacks in the chat. He's not here, but he's lurking in the chat. We got Perry Comics. What's going on, Perry?
House, man.
We got Thunder House Design. How you doing, Thunder House? Happy to have you back in the chat tonight. We got Just Rican, Rod Rican in the chat. What's going on? We got three men in a basement. Haven't seen those guys for a second. Happy to see him in the chat.
Otto from the Grotto.
Oh, yeah.
No doubt about it. In line, you know he ain't too far away. He's Nemesis Prime.
Absolutely. And then Perry said it right, Legend. Skynet's present, man.
They're taking that warning over.
Tonight. We got Stay Puff 1983. How you doing, Puff? Happy to have you in the chat tonight. And Legend, I'm going to turn it back to you so we can get everybody else in this panel tonight.
We got a great panel tonight, man. We're going to go back to the old school. So unlock the door. You're going to see the Fantastic Four plus Herbie. No telling what Herbie's eating tonight, but we'll find out soon. And you know what? We got next in line, this co-host. Let the games begin. We got our friend, Kat Wren.
Didn't you just call me Herbie?
He just called you the Fantastic R.
Really?
Dude, I called him Herbie.
No. Get it straight. He is the
Herbie.
Fantastic R.
Oh, you're talking about Herbie the Love Bug.
Kirby.
No. He's a car. He's the superstar. The one behind the bar, he is Mark BKR. 9090, man. Well, it's great to have y'all, Kat Wren, here live tonight. And the guy that put it all together, just like Jason Voorhees knitting that sweater, we got the doctor of Comics.
Hey, yo, what's poppin'? It's Friday night. Let's make this happen. Carson, welcome back. I'm stoked to see you in the chat. And it's time It's time. We got a whole 6 people. Let's do this.
It's time.
Check
It's time.
that chat.
C-Wood19. Carson, check the chat one more time.
Now we still got 3 Men in the Basement in the chat. Chris Barrett in the chat. Stay Puff 1983. Just a Rican. Thunder House Design. And Perry Comics is in the chat tonight.
We're taking this old school, man, because I read my books. I'm ready to rock and roll. And I'm even maybe taking this off the hook. So tonight is brought to you by Jameson Cold Brew.
Only not really.
Not a sponsor.
Not sponsored.
It's okay, Chris. I was still first.
All right.
I'm drinking Sam's Cola. Sam's Cola, 0 calories.
All right. Here's to you. Cheers and salute.
Tito's and cranberry.
Carson,
Not sponsored, but you were totally.
what do you got to drink, Carson?
You can totally send me vodka. It's all good.
Water from the tap.
Mm-hmm.
Roll the
Oh
tide.
yeah.
Hey, Carson, in the chat,
Getting
we got a
hydrated.
cool guy, one of the hottest voices you're ever going to see in our comic book community. Great on gaming commentary, great on comic commentary. Carson, let's start the show with everybody's favorite picks of the week, man.
Oh man, so I actually had a nice healthy stack this week, as they'd say. So
One of them Stacy's fat stacks, no doubt.
yeah, good one. I tried out this Strange Academy. I guess I've never looked at Harry Potter or watched one of those movies, but I can imagine Harry Potter meets X-Men right here. Not too bad. The girl from Runaways is in toward the end of it, so I marked out for Nico. So there's that. Mercy #1. Great art for sure. Mirka Andolfo. If you like Mirka Andolfo, you have to check out this title. Just only had the A cover, though. I know Kat's got a different cover of the show tonight. The King of Nowhere. I had to get this after checking out Ice Cream Man. It's not too bad. The art's a little rough around the edges, but they want you to have that like nightmarish dream visions in this. So obviously, when the guy has a balloon that is a goldfish, you know you're going to get fun, weird stuff from W. Maxwell Prince.
Wait,
So
are
you're
they
debating
nowhere or
if
now
the
here?
guy is just in a really weird place or he's having a bad nightmare. You have to pick up issue 2 to continue to find out. But solid first issue. I may keep this going. I may just wait for the trade on that or read it digitally. Fun book. Outer Darkness / Chew #1. I had to show my boy Rob Guillory. They only had one copy of this at open on Wednesday at my shop, so I went ahead and just swiped it up. I have no idea what's going on in the
Looks
book
awesome.
Outer Darkness. But like I said, I enjoyed the splash panel with Pollo, my boy. He's in it. He's fighting another giant piece of chicken. It's awesome. So, yeah, he didn't have too much luck on the cover, though. But cool cover. Swipe Chew #1. My pick of the week, you probably guess it, has to go to Tom King's Strange Adventures #1 for this awesome Doc Shaner cover. But definitely, you could tell this is a follow-up to Mr. Miracle. So if you guys like the Mr. Miracle run that Tom King did with Mitch Gerrits, you definitely owe it to yourself to go out and buy a copy of this today. Definitely, so far, lives up to what they did over there. So I don't want to spoil too much else about this book because it does have some, murder mystery type elements. Basically, they're trying. This book is going to create debate: is he a war hero or a war criminal? So definitely look forward to seeing what they do in Strange Adventures, which was my pick of the week.
You know, I got a quick question, Carson, on that Strange Adventures, and I know we're going to talk about that book a little bit more tonight, but is that a Black Label book?
No.
Yeah,
Okay.
No, whoa.
Yes, it is.
Looks like a nice plain comic book. Here's one next to it, but if you look closely and examine the label, you'll see right there, it says Black Label.
Black Label.
Besides Cat.
So it's a normal size comic, not like the big magazine size ones.
Correct. So
Okay.
normal comic, Black Label comic. Spot the difference.
Dude, that's pretty freaking cool.
Main
Well, Cat
difference,
Ren,
$4.99.
$4.99. They still got you on that dollar.
Gotcha.
Cat Ren, I want to see what kind of books did you pick up this week? What did you read? What's going down in the Cat Ren's town?
Well, I should probably give a shout out to the Mark BKR90 because he actually picked up my books this week. And
You're welcome.
Shut the fuck up, Mark.
I
Thanks,
said thank
Chad.
you. I said thank you. Just let it go. Anywho, so first off, I also picked up Strange Adventures issue 1, but I picked up the B cover, of course. Strange Danger, Space Liar, I Kill, Monster, War Criminal. I loved this book. It was fantastic. We all know how much I loved Mr. Miracle as that was coming out, and I really can't wait to see where this goes. Tom King is at his best when you give him a self-contained story that ties into his own kind of stories, his own little offshoots of what's going on. This is when he's at his best. Give him a 12-issue arc and let him run wild with the character.
Hey, speaking of
I'm
running
so
wild, you know,
excited.
right next to you, you got a guy. I don't know if he's happy and he knows it, but in one hand he's got a beer bottle, the other hand he's about to shoot his load. What's in the other arm you got there? You got to shoot your load? Let's see that gun of yours, baby.
You want to show your top pick?
Hey,
Well,
So
we're
this
really
is-
pushing that parental
is
advisory tonight.
Odin's.
Copa people.
Odin's
It's
toy.
Odin's.
So that bad boy
toy.
can
Oh my
fire
God.
out a tennis ball, right?
Yes, it can.
Oh, dude, watch out, man! You gotta
Not in
kill
my dining
somebody with
room.
that thing, man. Damn.
Jesus, what are you doing, Mark?
You
Keep
break-
it-
you break
Keep it
my
in the
glass
holster there, buddy.
You
Keep
stay
it in the
box
holster
for a week.
Mark,
Chad, you're
right.
pushing him over the edge
Anyhow.
tonight.
Yeah, Cat. What else you got? Whoa!
Anyhow.
Don't cock it again.
Why not?
Anywho,
The cat is trying to annoy me.
Put it. In the pot.
Ah, Scott Evans. Keep
He's
away.
out of tennis balls. It's
Step
fine.
away from the potato
fine.
gun.
But
Oh,
Oh,
and New Holland makes the Dragon's Milk.
Okay. Dragon's Milk. New Holland Thunder House Design wanted to know where the Dragon's Milk was made.
New Holland, Michigan.
Good stuff.
But, my pick for this week.
No, Chris.
My pick for this week is Mercy from Mirica Aldelfo. This is a book that I've been waiting for better part of a year and a half, just following her Instagram. This is the Art Germ variant cover for it.
This is the only thing they had.
Just a beautiful, beautiful cover.
Mark Germ drew that.
Yeah.
Oh my God,
Look at that.
yeah. Stanley Lau.
Oh, yeah. You shush.
Okay, sorry.
I likes me Art
I'll
Germ.
be joining Mark in the
But-
box. It's gonna be a tight fit.
Yeah, it might be.
Basically, we get to see a
Whoa.
horror story through the eyes of Mirica Aldelfo. Gorgeous artwork. If you love any of Mirica Aldelfo's work, which, by the way, shame on you if you haven't, just because her stuff is spectacular. But you do get to see Lady Lane, as well as all sorts of craziness going on here. So there's a little bit of some craziness going on. Of course, some Mirica Aldelfo goodness. There's some naughty bits in here, so I can't exactly show those panels.
Yeah, there's a three-way in there.
There is actually.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
There's-
she showed the page earlier.
I didn't.
It was the second one you showed.
No, it wasn't.
Oh,
Yeah.
No, it wasn't.
All right, let's rewind the tape.
Oh my god.
Yeah, as I said, they could just rewind the
Anyhow.
tape.
Anyhow,
Nice artwork, though.
fantastic work from
It's a
Mirica
beaut.
Aldelfo, and pretty great stuff. So very excited to see where this goes moving forward. And it's Mirica Aldelfo. Give it a chance. It's gonna be spectacular.
Is it because of the three-way?
No.
Well, that's a good pick of the week right there, no doubt about it. If any of y'all are out there in the chat, Mark is totally ready. He's ready to get it going, man. All right. Well, I'm gonna go before we go to chat. The books I read this week, I only read 2. You know, my pool is going to be coming March 11th. I check mycomicshop.com. I get my books monthly because it saves me so much money on shipping that way. But I had to get online to read some of that Farmhand.
Oh, yeah.
Damn, Farmhand 14. Got the Farmhand 14 read. A lot of stuff happened in the book. Not only are just the whole damn town is getting the plant gene and it's invading their brains and they're all going, everyone is getting infected, kind of like a certain virus that's going on in the comic book community. But man, it's a great kick-ass story. Zeke at the end of the book, he's laid out. He doesn't know what to do. He may be gone too soon. Jedediah is getting close. He knows that that old crazy lady, Thorn or whatever, she's up to no good. You get a lot more of her backstory, how she first was the first one to hear the voice and pretty much caused the whole thing. And Jedediah never wanted to cause his kids no pain, but old Thorn, that lady, she's just damn crazy. Now, surprisingly enough, Farmhand is usually always my pick of the week, but a lot of times, since I don't get a lot of new books, my pull's so light, sometimes I read old school at night. And man, on the DC universe, I just finished issue 7 of this bad boy right here, Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Did you cry?
Earths. I didn't cry. I read the story before, and I knew it was coming. But when you read a masterpiece, by Marv Wolfman, kick-ass artwork by George Perez, you got to read, the Grail stories a couple of times to really take them in. Just like Alan Moore's Watchmen, I got to read Wolfman and his beautiful masterpiece, Crisis on Infinite Earths, multiple times. This is my second time all the way through. I haven't started issue 8 yet, but it is an emotional story that tugs at the heartstrings. You get, first off, I told Carson a couple of nights ago, it took me 2 nights to read because it was over like 40 pages, but it was one of those double-sized issues. And, you got the Freedom Fighters in there from Earth X. You got Earth S, a.k.a. the Shazam family was there. Captain Marvel, Mary Marvel, Captain Marvel Jr., even old Uncle Marvel. And old Talkie Tawny was there. So you had them. You had Lady Quark. You had Pariah, you had Alexander Luthor from Earth 3. He opened up a portal to the antimatter universe to where all of the heroes were going to tango with the Anti-Monitor for the first time. And, the Anti-Monitor's freaking base, man, it was all made out of stone. And when they got there, the stone was coming to life in the images of creatures or whatever Anti-Monitor wanted to do. He was having them attack. Of course, we had Psycho Pirate in there being all dumb. He was in the background doing his thing. But, the gal that laid it all on the line in the name of hope to protect the one she loved was old Kara, man. Old Kara, whatever you want to call her. She kicked ass, and she beat the shit out of the Anti-Monitor. Of course, gone too soon. She lost her life, man. But, man, I didn't cry during it, not like I did on the first time because I knew it was coming. But it was an emotional freaking roller coaster of a ride. And you can only get that when you're on the inside of the DC universe, or if you have these single issues too. But I want to get to the man of the hour, the man with the power, the doctor of comic-nomics. Chad, what all did you get this week? What did you read?
All right. I had a big lot and I read a lot. So I'm going to start off with I didn't like. So Superman villains is why Superman's feeling miserable because Bendis has destroyed that that entire title.
Agreed.
The Flash
750.
liked it up until this old bullshit.
Wally West sitting in the chair with the Manhattan power. Yep.
Okay, so this Harley Quinn, it's kind of the throwaway. I'm just holding on to it because I've been reading it for so long. I think I'm gonna cancel this title at this point.
Harley's not too gnarly, I guess.
Yeah.
Bring back Connors. Bring back Palmiotti.
Oh yeah.
So
Black Label.
here,
Black
are
Label,
you-
everybody, Black Label.
the next not so great book. Was this one?
Okay.
Hellfighter Quinn. I know
Quinn Mallory. Quinn.
I know Simple Man and Bolo had the guy on the show.
Mr.
Check him
Mallory.
out. Just wasn't for me. I wasn't feeling it. I enjoyed this.
Oh yeah, Justice League. Scott freaking Snyder. How's he doing on it, Chad?
This isn't Snyder.
Snap.
Snyder's end came to an end. But
Okay.
anytime they have the Eradicator, I'm digging it.
Oh.
Oh, nice.
Batman, enjoyed this. I want to
Yep.
see where it's
Awesome.
going to go. It was fun.
God, I love DC books, man.
I just like the art on Marvel's. The first maybe 4 pages was Alex Ross. But
Was that the Marvel issue 1?
Yep.
Okay, that's that Android Human Torch, most likely, fans, not the Johnny Storm.
This is the most underrated book that nobody's reading right now.
I'm reading it because my girl's in it.
Ooh.
Super, super good.
She is gorgeous. Look at that cover.
She's going toe to toe with Blackfire right now, so it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, she is. Coriander versus Comeander. Two sisters into the ring. Only one.
I'm surprised that was. I'm surprised that wasn't your pick of the week.
So
No, I've got it in my
I have a
Keep
question.
drinking. Chad's talking.
Sorry. Sorry.
I have a
apologize.
question. I have a question.
I-
So in Savage Avengers, Conan's in it, right?
Yes.
So how
His sword's in the title.
So how is it that another company called Ablaze is producing a Conan book?
The Cimmerian Queen of the Black Coat.
Yeah, Black Coast.
Coast. What do you think?
Very good book.
I love getting you on. I love surprising you.
This one was a great read. I enjoyed it. The artwork's really cool. More adult oriented.
Oh, public domain, Scott Evans says. That's why
Isn't it
public
because it's
domain.
100 now?
Damn, Chris Barrett. You full of knowledge, dude. Holy hell. Go outside sometime, bro.
All right, next up.
You know too much. This guy, Chris Barrett, knows more than me, and I've been around for 42 fucking years.
Ahoy Comics came out with Billionaire Island.
Now that looks like some shit I can get into.
Super fun book.
That looks cool. What's going on?
It's a
Is Captain Cheshire or Cheshire?
No.
What's his name? Chester on there?
no.
Cat?
This is a new title from them.
Cat in
Don't make me go old school.
So
You need to
it,
put the drink down.
it's a new title.
No,
from,
it's title from Ahoy. Cats in Space. Anyway, tell me about it. Tell me about it, Chad.
it's,
Billionaire
Chad's
Island.
fixing to whip Mark's ass for talking over him. Well,
all right.
Be
So
there and
moving on.
all right, here we
It's
go.
a good
Oh
read.
yeah, Strange Adventures, dude.
Strange Adventures.
Oh, dude,
My very close friend sent me this in the mail.
Ooh. That guy, I mean, fans, if you didn't know his close friends, Chad does actually know Stanley Lau. And for all you, I guess we could call you Marks, that's Art Germ, okay? Not smart Marks, because you probably don't know Art Germ and Stanley Lau are the same person, but they are. So
Super. That was my second favorite book. And my favorite book of the
this
week.
is what I've been waiting for.
It's King of Nowhere. I know Carson.
Oh, yeah.
Carson, the art in it is super trippy, but like you're sitting there scratching your head, like, what the hell did I just read?
And that's called King of Nowhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can we see a couple of interior panels? Preferably not green colors.
Yeah, I know.
You'll find something good though. Oh, dude. Is that guy getting shot with like a nail gun?
Yeah.
That's pretty badass.
Oh my God. Dude, Mark.
There's a bar scene.
Nail
here that's
guns
pretty
are awesome.
badass.
Oh, dude,
Yeah,
I like
guns
that
are
dude with
amazing.
that. Dude, look at that guy. There's some great artwork in there.
And then there's a
Yeah,
guy.
it looks pretty trippy.
Then there's a guy with his head on upside down.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, I like that guy the best.
bartender?
He's just like, you think my head's upside down? What if everybody else's head is upside down and mine's right side up?
Damn. Who does the artwork on that?
Things that make you go,
Kind of looks like some
Illustrated
Lemire.
by Tyler Jenkins, colored by Hillary Jenkins.
All right, the Jenkins clan.
Yeah. So
Ain't no Jedediah Jenkins though.
I enjoyed this book a ton.
Dude.
So that's my pick of the week.
That's freaking kick-ass, Chad. Carson, why don't you start us off with our topic tonight?
I will. After I get over this chat.
Yeah, the chat, man.
And he's gone too soon. We got Comics Mix explained in the chat. What's going on?
A minute
Mr.
there, I thought you were
Cantu?
talking about Comic Spectre. Where the hell's he at?
Oh man, Comic Spectre, one of the best.
He
One of the
commented
best.
on one of our videos last week.
Oh yeah,
Man. Comic Spectre, save some money and quit buying them stupid Superior Spider-Man boxes. Just read some books and come on the show and let's talk about what you read. Okay. Sorry,
I don't
Carson.
read.
Keep going with the chat.
Here's one of your favorites, Ledge. We got Mr. Gretzky 9966 stating, and this is true, they killed Supergirl because DC Big Guns only wanted one from Krypton. So whenever John Byrne redid that origin, he was the sole survivor of Krypton. So,
But then they made her into goo.
yeah, and
I
then
like
eventually,
that.
really, the Kara Zor-El we know didn't come back till Mike Turner. So, yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then
now she's gone too soon.
And then I don't know about you, but Captain Lou, he's hooked on them brothers. But we got Two Brothers comics in the chat tonight. How you doing, Two Brothers? And those guys have been killing on their channel. Definitely check them out. Sub up all. Just sub everybody up in the chat tonight.
The brothers.
Chris Barrett delivering all that bad news, and Thunderhouse Design. He's been in the chat all night. So anyway, our topic of the night. So if AT&T's like, look, we did a lot of thinking. We watched this show, Comic Core, just stumbled upon it. We want these guys to run DC Comics. So I guess in that crazy, insane world, what would we do if we ran DC Comics?
Dude, I tell you what I'd do. If I was DC, I would stop worrying about the competition. I'm going to give you a little Legends truth, people, because a lot of you have YouTube channels. A lot of you want to be one of those mega channels. You know, you want to get to that top of that mountain so you can look down upon, you know, all of the things that you've accomplished and all the things that you've passed along the way up your big time journey to that high mountaintop. But, you know, I think sometimes that's what DC does as well. You know, they look at Marvel and they look at other companies and stuff. But the thing about it is, if DC would just stop worrying about those other companies and worrying about getting higher numbers than the other companies, aka all of you worrying about other channels that are doing better than you, if you quit worrying about those higher numbers and worry about the people that are week in, week out watching you, they're in the live chats, that's your target audience right there. Those are the ones you need to impress. And like the YouTube world, DC needs to do some of that action, man. They need to appease to the ones that are actually buying their books. You know, don't go out and create new characters to appease to a social media crowd that doesn't even buy the books. They're not going to pay the money to get those books. You know, give the fans what they want. Some kick-ass stories, some awesome heroes and villains going toe-to-toe like you've never seen before. And man, just do that, because when you have that kind of stuff, you know, you're going to be looked upon like a kick-ass company that's doing stuff for the fans. You know, maybe even do one of those, call-in lines. You want to see someone die like Jason Todd again? Call the hotline. Give fans, a chance to reach you and really take what the fan says into effect. Maybe a lot of people I know don't want to see Wally West with the Dr. Manhattan powers in the Mobius chair. You know, they don't want to see all that kind of stuff. You know, they want to see something else. But I just think if DC would quit trying to be something they're not and then go back to what they were before, just a great company that writes some kick-ass stories, I think they'll be doing a lot better. How about you, Chad?
You know what? I actually think they're on the right path right now.
Okay.
And I'm telling you from a DC standpoint, I think AT&T wants to compete with Disney. I mean, ultimately that's their end game. And Disney struck gold with The Mandalorian, and they struck gold with these new shows that are coming out, and people are loving Disney Plus. So what's AT&T going to do and focus on? They're going to focus on the HBO Max, right? So
yeah, Max.
They also have some other properties that they have identified, and I think yesterday they released a teaser trailer for.
Was it Stargirl?
No, it was
Justice League Dark.
No.
It wasn't the Dark Side War, but it was
not at all. It's not
It's
not a comic book movie. It's a video game. It's a man and a little girl.
Do they get trapped inside of the video game?
No. It's an actual video game and property.
Oh, okay.
They've also announced that they're going to be doing some of the other properties, such as what was that game? My God,
The Last of Us.
Last of Us. Yeah,
there he is. Because this guy, whenever it shows up on crap yard. There we go. Slow lag.
Yeah.
The Last of Us. Yeah, Comics Books Explained. And look at Thunderhouse Design.
So they also announced that they're going to be doing God of War,
Mm-hmm.
and they just also announced that they're going to be doing Final Fantasy,
Ooh.
and these are all going to
That's
be
the money.
live action series.
Mhm.
So I think they're going to stay with the properties that they own. In addition, they are going to have the, Green Lantern show that's going to be
Yes.
coming out.
Hell yeah, man.
And but I mean, right now they got to get their footing. Like for
Mhm.
example, the guy that did a phenomenal job on Aquaman, James Carson, help me out.
James Wan.
James Wan. One of the
Andrew.
greatest scenes in that entire movie is on the boat when the sea creatures are coming up on top, and how they're attacking.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
That's the
the deep,
what the
Yeah.
hell were those? The trench
the
storyline.
trench.
So
Yeah.
they just announced that he is going to be doing a Universal Monsters movie. So maybe they are going to be bringing that dark universe back.
Oh,
And,
I love those, dude.
But I mean, from a comic standpoint, Legend, I can't agree with you any more than this. Is they just got to stay in their lane at this point.
Yeah, stay in their
Go-
lane.
Go back to what has worked. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to say it last week because Drew didn't.
Drew was doing a little filibustering. Drew, we love our Drew Manchu, but he don't know when to settle down sometimes.
So, but last week, what my point was with the X-Men is that the retailers would have loved to see X-Men 92, right? I think all of us in the community, there's a lot of buzz and hype around Batman Adventures that's going to be coming out with Ty Templeton and Paul Dini writing it because everybody loved that story.
And they're bringing your Jason Todd to that universe. So that is good.
But I think you got to go back to what worked. And
Yes.
and
Amen.
one of the main examples of that is Tomasi's run on Superman. Carson and I both got into comics around the same time. Was the death of Superman, and Tomasi reintroduced the Eradicator. He reintroduced all those characters from that genre, and that's what people want to see. So, do I think that's what they need to go to? Yeah, maybe. Yeah. So perhaps a generation that G5 might be something like that to bring that back, but
God, that'd be so good.
bring back the stories that we love. Like Green Lantern was. I know you're loving it right now, but Green Lantern Jeff Johns run was fantastic.
Oh yeah, I read it. Damn good.
Ideally Justice League, the Grant Morrison run, Tower. Even when Mark Waid took over and they did the Tower of Babel. Those are fantastic stories. Go back to the core when each story had like a 5-issue arc, and you didn't have to jump on. If you're going to read Year of the Villain, you could read it in a title. Don't do what Marvel's doing. I mean, Marvel is doing well right now, but they're also charging the shit out of clients. I mean, with the patrons. So, my opinion. DC, go back to your core. You have some of the greatest well-known properties. Do what makes them great.
And I know a guy that loves Superman under the storyline of the Dan Jurgens. Those were some great stuff. But Carson, you are a humongous DC fan. Like Chad said, y'all started collecting DC around the same time. What is some of the things you would do to make DC back in black? Put them back in black and get them out of the red.
Before I get to my 2 cents, I brought up my iPad here because I got a little bit of a handwritten note here from our pal Drew Manchu. So before I get into my stuff, I want to read what he would do because Drew loves DC more than anyone we know.
It's his favorite brand, DC.
And I know, shout out to our pal Double S out there, Drew's actual nephew, from what I've heard and to understand. He loves me when I read these Drew notes.
So you're gonna read Drew's words?
I'm gonna read Drew's words. Yes.
Okay.
Are you gonna do a Drew voice?
No.
Yeah. I'll see you later.
You're gonna
dude.
do
I
a
gotta
Drew
go.
voice. Are you gonna filibuster?
I'm
Filler's gonna bust.
Go.
So anyway, Drew says, I loved Doomsday Clock. and I would love it if they made a Doomsday Clock sequel called Doomsday Clocks, and then eventually do another sequel called Doomsday Clock 3, Three Jokers, because I need to see those 3 Jokers. Something like that. I'm just kidding. Anyway,
And then the
Drew
next one
says,
would be Doomsday Digital Clocks.
oh, okay, nice. Atomic clocks, they update themselves. But anyway.
Wait. The prequel's analog.
Shut up, Mark.
Yeah, Sundial. Anyway, Drew says, if I were in DC, I would bring back Rebirth, put it all together into a new 52/post-crisis amalgam universe where you can acknowledge the golden and silver age happened, but realize that we're moving forward. Super Sons are back. Wally is just a Flash, and everyone can coexist. Kill Catwoman, make Batman super dark, and let Morrison do whatever he wants with Green Lantern and the cosmic stuff. As far as Justice League, go ahead and do a 5G style New Age of Heroes book as the new Justice League. But here's my favorite one. But with Connor as Superman and Tim as Batman, I'll give Drew a thumbs up on that. Use the Super Sons of Tomorrow team from the future and expand the team and give it to Bendis. So, any thoughts on Drew's notes here?
No
No.
comment.
No.
No comment. Okay.
He just added this.
Yes to some.
Drew just added stuff.
Yeah, he
Okay.
said, make everything X. For example, X Superman, X Batman. Oh, so I get it. He just wanted all the X.
He
Yeah.
wants
Hell
X-Men.
yeah.
X
God.
everything.
He wanted 52 titles in DC to be X-Men related.
So House
X
of L and
something or
Powers of L.
Yeah. So it's
Okay.
going to be called, yeah, exactly. He said, just just do exactly what the X-Men are doing currently, but then put it in a DC format
So
because
just
the X-Men are the best.
move Jonathan Hickman to Superman.
Yeah.
Damn.
Anyway,
You know, what about Cat? Cat.
I was like 50 to like 65% there
Yeah.
until he started throwing all that X-Men shade. And
Oh,
I'm like,
yeah.
nah, I'm good now.
Everyone knows
Drew.
Fantastic Four is better than X-Men anyway.
Time out. Anywho. So if I had my way with some DC comics, we all know that I love DC.
What about
DC.
Colossus?
Shut up, Mark. She's
Okay.
talking.
By
He does bring up a
comparison-
good point. A damn X-Men character.
By comparison, Colossus can go fuck himself.
Hell yeah.
Or
You
anybody
were
on a Wednesday.
What?
Or
Or
anybody,
anybody
on a Wednesday.
Yeah, the worst show ever. If you want to watch Wednesday night, the worst comic show ever. on
Dude, those guys are
Wednesdays.
funny as hell.
Yeah.
Yeah,
as
but
funny
are
as-
they as good as the A show?
No, we love those guys, honestly.
Goddamn. They about as funny as watching a fucking economics and comics video. Am I right? Okay.
Legend, you gotta
Anyhow.
explain.
All right. Sorry. That was
Anywho.
Sam Neill. Sam Neill's fault.
Anywho.
Sorry.
All right, so
Okay.
if I had my
Keep
way
going,
with
Kat,
DC, if I could try to revamp the entire imprint as a whole, I would start off by saying, first off, Brian Michael Bendis, Honey Bendis, sweetheart, you did some great things for Marvel back in your day,
What?
but you don't understand how to write young superheroes, clearly,
Kat, what
because you
has he done good? Like honestly, I know that's I love you,
everyone talks about how great Jessica Jones is. He created Jessica Jones. Let's just give him that.
okay.
and
I'll
just
give him
kinda-
something, 'cause
We'll,
I'm
we'll,
just
we'll
confused.
just say good job and just
Wait.
shoo him out. Let me finish.
Shut the fuck up, Mark.
Listen.
Yeah. be quiet, Drew, man.
Anyhow,
Eat your pizza.
just tell him. Just
Hey.
tell him. Good job. Here's a check. Don't call us. We will definitely call you, sir. And from there on out, I would like to start off by saying that we are going to do kind of a supercut between DCU and Rebirth, where Mark, I will punch you sideways.
Just do it. Just
Quit mocking me.
just hit him in his face one time.
Anywho.
Don't piss off Mama Voorhees.
So can I continue? Thank you.
God,
Thank
we're
you. Anywho, I'm still going. All right, so we're gonna do a off camera.
She's in
I'm pretty sure
My
Chad is
cat
on his
just
way
fell.
to Indiana. Oh, that was the cat?
I just watched my cat fall.
My
Oh
God.
my God.
Gene. Anywho, she's fine. She's up. But we're gonna do a stylized cut between DCU, which it was giving. The idea was creativity over continuity, and we're gonna take DC Rebirth that everyone loved because it brought back all of this great continuity, and we're going to take a lot of the creative teams and all of the fun and the fervor that they brought with the DCU titles, and we're going to bring that to some of the Rebirth titles that kind of died off. We're going to bring in some of the creative teams that we all know and love. Personally, I would really like them to continue on with the whole Red Hood and the Outlaws. However, I'd like to make it Outlaws Unlimited, and I'd like to put the New 52 and the Rebirth team together and just make it Outlaws Unlimited. I'd like Star and Arsenal back on the team. Yeah, that's right. Bring back Arsenal, okay? Roy Harper he's been gone too long, and it hurts me. But really, Mark?
Hey, you're talking.
Anywho, continuing on, Tom King has done some fantastic things for some characters that I really, really love. Of course, Vision and Mr. Miracle. I think Mr. Miracle is probably the best thing he's ever written, 100%. And I know a lot of people were really like on the fence one way or the other. I actually really enjoyed Heroes in Crisis. It broke my heart every single issue, but I saw what he was doing, discussing mental health there.
Yeah.
And I can see kind of where he's going right now with the Strange Adventures title. That,
broke this guy's heart too. He's damn done left the show. It was so shitty.
That just came out. I can see where he's going with this. And I'll tell you right now, I would love to see what he could do for another character that I do love that no one ever talks about other than myself. And everyone always laughs whenever I talk about this character. But Captain Carrot. I want to see Captain Carrot and the Amazing Zoo crew come back to comics. And I know that's going to be a huge like joke to a lot of people in the chat. But I feel if done correctly, it could be fantastic. And think about when they did bring Captain Carrot back in the Superman title. Was it like 2 years ago? Bless you, Chad. But in the Superman title, where they turned him into just simply a depowered rabbit, and how heartbroken everyone was for an issue or two there when that was going on. I would love to see him kind of dealing with that maybe, and kind of coping with like the loss and return of his powers and the question of everything going on there. I think that could be really interesting. Or honestly, anything that Tom King wants to do with that character in a maxi series, I think could be fantastic. But I want to bring back the Teen Titans and the Young Justice that I remember. Keep them young, keep them kids, and keep it a fun title. Let's not try to force them into being a Suicide Squad. Let's not try to force them into being the next Young Justice League or, you know, this or that. That's not who they are, okay? They are very simply the characters that get to sneak around the older characters and fight crime and everything. But they get away with it, you know, because they were trained by quite a few of them.
You know, Cat Wren, you're a big fan of Wonder Woman. You used to review Wonder Woman on the DC fan site. I want you to look at this one here by Mr. Gretzky. Give Wonder Woman a pre-mat rider. What kind of pre-mat rider would you want on your favorite title, Wonder Woman?
Amanda Connor.
Oh,
I would love Amanda Connor's Wonder Woman. Okay, so we got Wonder Woman in Harley Quinn's Little Black Book, issue 1, a couple years ago, written by Amanda Connor, and it was pretty fantastic. And the thing you may or may not know if you read as much Amanda Connor as I do, all of her DC titles throughout, you know, everything, they kind of sync up. And this character remembers what happens over here or there, whether they're technically in continuity or not. They're constantly referencing other things. Like Power Girl pops up in Harley Quinn and the Birds of Prey, and
Yep.
they're discussing their misadventures together for a little bit there. That's pretty fantastic. And she's had some pretty solid runs on Starfire. She had a fantastic run with Terra, which Terra actually appeared in Starfire. I would like to see, if we're not going to get my Outlaws with Starfire on that team, I would like to see Starfire, Harley Quinn, and Terra on a book together.
Oh man, that would be so cool.
I
You know
think
what?
that
You know what Chris
those
Barrett
are
wants
the
to see?
three best titles Amanda Connor has done. For
He wants
DC.
Amanda Connor to do some of these. How about some swimsuit issues?
Why not?
Hell yeah! I mean,
Why not?
you got to see some Amanda Connor goodness.
Some
Yes.
David Finch, maybe.
Oh yeah, maybe put him
Very
in some bathing
underrated.
suits.
I mean, honestly, give the Finches a book.
I like
The
Finches.
the Finches did an amazing book for Image a few years ago called Rose.
Mhm.
I would definitely give them a young female hero in DC if they wanted to give them an Artemis title, or if they wanted to give Huntress her own title. I highly doubt it.
You know who
anytime
needs
soon.
his own title? Mark could be Marsupial Man. He's got a
Man.
cat in his jacket and a beer in his hand. Marsupial Man.
Kangaroo Mark, everyone. Kangaroo Mark.
Can you hold this for me? Thank you.
But one thing that Drew said in his whole little rant was he wanted to kill off Catwoman and he wanted to make Batman darker. I highly disagree with that. I think Batman is written at his best when he is a family man. As much as an anti-family man as he is, and he's like, I work alone, da, da, da. He's had so many different various family members, and those are the stories in Batman that I love the most, when it's the Bat family.
I say they bring back. Alfred
I
and
would
kill the bitch.
I'd love them to bring back Alfred as well. I think killing Alfred was a mistake, personally.
I
Me
do
too.
too.
I think that was a huge mistake that DC made. I think that they should bring back Alfred along the lines of what they did when they brought back Damian Wayne. Let's make it a huge family affair. Let's find a way to bring Alfred back. And
You're exactly right.
let's make the family what it was.
Batman is his best only by what
As
he
a-
surrounds himself with. Isn't that right, Catrin?
Mm-hmm.
You got to
That's
surround him.
That's all.
Batman has always been better with a Robin at his side and an Alfred in his bat cave. And man, when he's got all of that, he does such a better job, because he's not just worrying about himself. He's not just thinking about himself, like so many other people do, but he's thinking about the ones that love him, that look up to him, and then he looks up to them to do their job, and he loves them right back. Family style. That's how you do it. Freaking family style. Carson, how's this chat going real quick?
Oh man. So we got Mr. Gretzky 9966. I know he has some great opinions on what he thinks DC should be. He says bring back the Batman before 2011. He wants that pre-Scott Snyder, Greg Capullo Batman back. Thunderhouse Design says he'd love to see Remender on a DC title too, but also no longer willing to work for the big two. Yeah, a lot of those guys are going toward Image, which when I get to my turn, that's going to be some of the points I'm going to make exactly, is why wouldn't they want to work for the big two?
Yeah.
So all about the money. Chris Barrett says the Finches, the Dotsons, and I'd have Art Germ do interiors.
Mhm.
Thunderhouse Design says Brubaker is done with the big two, so they're already discussing that in the chat. But what I would do is, once again, I got to go back to my old iPad. So
Oh yeah.
if I was in charge of DC, I would just, hand them this. I'm like, all right, so you have Marvel Unlimited, you have Comixology. What's going on with the DC app? Seriously, like we've been kind of saying for a while on the show. We love talking about digital on the show. If you guys
We
didn't
do.
know.
I love
It's kind
digital.
of like a running joke at this point. We used to kind of say that's the wave of the future, basically. But with the way Unlimited and Comixology is now, in my opinion, it's the way of the present. So the fact that DC isn't caught up with Comixology, not caught up with Marvel Unlimited, in my opinion, it's a pretty big problem, especially once you're trying to, You know, I mean, if you're really trying to orient toward those more casual comic fans who don't make it to the local shop every single week, they don't mind reading their stuff 6 months out plus, then that's kind of the crowd they might need to start thinking about rather than like, oh, let's get out the new Black Label or whatever.
I love reading.
Look at that.
That's my next one I'm going to be reading. I'm taking my time. I'm taking turns in between Black Lightning, the old school series, that's issue 3, and Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Absolutely. And you know, with the whole digital piece, I mean, from what I'm to understand, I don't know, like if you buy something on Comixology for DC, I don't know what kind of kickback the actual creators get from that, like they would an Image comic or what have you, but that's something that needs to be restructured as well. So if the creators aren't happy with the amount of money they're getting on these books, maybe that needs to be looked at too, because I think that's why Mark Waid went to Marvel to begin with. He was kind of looking at, you know, the money he got from his Marvel digital work compared to his DC digital work. And he's like, why would I work for DC when I'm not getting paid properly? So I think a lot of their problems come from pay, because obviously you have, let's see what came out this week, for instance. Here's the book I was going for, Mercy #1. Why would Mirka Andolfo want to work for the big two when she can put out a book like Mercy #1 and get a much larger payday and keep the rights to her characters? So
yeah,
definitely
Very true.
they need to figure out how to draw back the best creators, because right now the best creators are all going to Image. They're circling toward Boom and their own independent labels. So they really need to kind of just look at their structure on how they're paying people. And with all that too, on top of all of that, once again, let me go back to my stack. I'm just using books from this week. Here's another one of my problems. Beautiful cover. Phenomenal. Why are there 2 covers? I understand it's an issue 1, but probably every issue in this run will have 2 covers, 3 covers. I'd just go back to one nice looking cover on the stands. Because you're just dividing your fan base. You're trying to just squeeze all the money out of your core comic buyers. I'd rather just go for one nice looking cover. Here, let's click on.
They want that B cover money.
I understand that.
As an example. So this is Amethyst issue 1 that came out, Stephanie Hahn cover. This is the B cover that came out.
Mm-hmm.
And DC B covers
are Virgin
right now,
style, pretty much, right?
Yeah, they're pretty much Virgin style.
Yeah.
They've got like really minimal heading and titles and everything, but like they are fantastic. And I'm saying, why can't you give me this as the A cover?
Precisely.
I agree with you. But if you know you have a stronger artist and you know you have stronger art for a cover, use that as your cover. I understand they want that B cover money. They want people to buy multiple covers, which I know I'm a sucker for it, especially if it's a character I love. If, let's say, Teen Titans comes out with 3 different covers and one of them is a really gorgeous Robin cover. The next one has the entire team on it. That looks really cool. And then there's a Starfire cover.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to hurt me. I'm going to get all 3.
Yeah,
I know.
I'm going to get all 3.
Yeah.
But, you know, they're definitely after that buck.
Yep.
And I mean, I think at the end of the day, it's just confusing for buyers and retailers alike. Because I know, like, for my retailer around here, sometimes to get the B cover, they make you buy the A cover first. And like I said, some of these guys are buying the A cover just so they can get the B cover in the hands of the person who wants to buy it for their shop and keep their consumer happy. So now they're going to end up with all these extra copies, and it just hurts the retailer by the end of the day. Whereas
And Carson, it's like what cover to pick? A, B, B, A. It's like you're playing fucking Akara Warriors. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man, Kari Warriors. I haven't thought about that game for a minute. Here, let's click on Cat's Wonder Woman cover real quick.
Oh wow!
So, this is fantastic. I think this technically came out last week, but this came in my polls. But this is the most recent issue of my girl Wonder Woman, which I do love Wonder Woman.
Jenny Frison, eh?
But
Is that a Jenny Frison cover?
very strong Jenny Frison cover.
I only knew that because this
Gorgeous cover. And I'm telling you right now, why wouldn't you want to make Frison your A cover artist? Now, I do understand we had some fantastic covers from the Dodsons, from Fench had a couple covers, Art Germ had a couple covers that were all fantastic. But I'm saying, why have these artists compete against each other when you know, like, they can do this or they can do that? Or maybe do like back and forth depending on whoever or what the story is, you know. But if you have a stronger piece of art, go for that stronger piece. This Frizzen cover is spectacular, but some of her covers kind of look the exact same.
Mm-hmm. And I'm a sucker for those B covers as well on things like Shazam, or, you know, I got the Jeff Lemire question. So, Carson, I know what you mean about the AB covers. What else would you do, Carson,
I
to help
mean,
DC?
I could go on the whole thing of like, let's get some of those cover artists on the inside of the books and into the panels and stuff, which I kind of want to do that, but I understand why they, you know, some of these artists, they're not the best interior artists. They're great cover artists. I won't even go into that.
My friend doesn't like doing interior.
Precisely, yeah. Your best friend doesn't. He probably wouldn't do interiors the best.
He only
look
likes
like Wonder Woman.
those covers.
Well, my last point. I keep picking on Strange. This is my pick of the week. I love this book, by the way.
Adam Strange.
But my last big problem is this right here. It's Black Label. Because I can I can have a whole stack of stuff like why is this Black Label? There's just no more consistency in DC. So like for instance, just the last few months at my shop, the DC shelf has been random Black Label books, some of which are all Harley Quinn, and some of which all come out the same week. This is strange. Like this is Black Label. I don't know why it's Black Label. May as well just be normal continuity. So it just becomes extremely confusing and annoying. Like once again, they could all of a sudden print this, then this size because it's Black Label, and they can say the creators are just doing whatever they want and mandating the size. So I would just like, if you're gonna make the Black Label this big special label, start to limit it a little bit. Bring back the bring back the train.
Yes.
You got to put Didio on. You got to get the conductor back on that train, though. He gone too soon.
Can we all vote yes for that one, Phantom Stranger?
But like, if the Black Label isn't special anymore, if you put it on every other book to try to drive sales just a little bit more, I would just limit to one Black Label storyline at a time. So it's kind of perfect at first when it was just Batman Damned. That's the only thing that has Black Label that was out on the shelves. And then once that was over, they had a new Black Label book. Instead, now we got like half the line is Black Label. And on top of that, you have this like Tales of the Dark Multiverse. It's just one-shots that are rushed and what have you. So like I said, one week I went into the shop, I think there were two normal in-continuity DC comics. And then you had like 3 Black Labels, and then Tales from the Dark Multiverse one-shot, the Walmart giant size one-shot, and then another Tales from the Dark Multiverse. It was like, if you were a fan walking in for the first time, you're just like, what is all this crap? Like, what do I buy? It's just extremely, it's like they take one
convoluted and confusing.
They stretch it out like a piece of gum and then forget about their core. So, yeah, like I said, core. Focus on your core.
Yep.
That's my last note.
Damn. Chad, did you want to add anything else about these DC, these troubles?
I honestly been thinking about this since Drew, since last week, and you know,
you probably would have said something last week if he wasn't talking over the whole fucking panel. Sorry. This ain't Copa friendly. People.
Legend shooting from the hip tonight.
We going old school tonight.
Bang, bang.
No, I think they're gonna come back. I think all of it is very cyclical. I mean, for the longest time, you had Marvel. I mean, I remember they had the Young Guns and the Blueprints, the New Architects, and all this other stuff. And what they were putting out was absolute garbage. And they stuck with the plan and they came through. I think at the end of the day, DC's going to have to. They're going to have to go back to some roots. I mean, like honestly, a lot of these guys are they need to focus. What's Vidal say? DC
exactly.
Marvel.
Yeah, they're focusing demographically. You know that you have to focus on the older readers, the ones that are actually buying the material, because he says young readers, they like reading the manga. Appealing to them is hopeless, no matter how good the stories may be. Or if they can I think doesn't DC do some manga books, but I know exactly what he's saying. I mean, they're trying to appeal to a market that is not there. The wrong people. Bring it to the community. Give us our DC back.
No, and they're going to, but it's just going to take a little bit of time. Just like in the past where they had to revamp when Marvel revamped it. I think it's time DC is, and DC at this point is being forced to revamp because they're on.
Yeah.
I mean,
They've got to revamp now.
I
Without Didio on the ship, jeez.
I think Didio
It's up
might
in
be
the air.
on the ship.
Oh, you think he's coming back to ride the Stranger Train, the Phantom Stranger Train one more time?
This isn't public knowledge, but I have an insider source from C2E2 that may have saw Didio.
Damn. That's good stuff, man.
Carson,
Didio.
Do you know anything about that?
I swear I saw maybe Dan Jurgens, but not
Dan
Dan
Jurgens.
Video.
Oh God, man! What are you doing that for, man? I was
My man Dan Jurgens.
dude. Well, yeah, Dan Jurgens. I mean, get him back on that DC train, and things can happen. Because if he does anything like he was doing in the '90s, man, the DC is going to be the place to be,
Let me ask
along
you a
with that Jim freaking Lee. I just
Dude,
took that rhyme
Jurgens
out of the-
Superman.
Okay, so I have a dumb question. This
There's
is
no
a-
such thing
this-
as dumb questions, Chad.
This guy on here,
Mark,
he answers
shut
all
up.
the
Just
questions.
shut up, Mark.
Ask Mark anything, Chad.
All right, here's my question in general.
Love you.
If we have if you own a restaurant, right, or you're a carpenter, do
Yeah.
you hire an electrician to cut the wood? Do you hire somebody that doesn't know the trade?
No.
No.
Okay, so what
You hire this guy.
Hey.
so a question for you, what exactly is Jim Lee's resume?
I think doesn't he do
Art.
Wildcats? All right.
Art.
I mean, no, like from a business standpoint, what is Jim Lee's resume?
Yeah, put his ass
Well,
on the
They
cover.
probably look at it as he was one of the Image founders.
Okay,
Who then within Image formed Wildstorm and sold it back to DC.
Yeah,
okay. So what did he actually write?
Wildcats.
yeah. The
He-
image, that
That's
floral cover.
Gen 13.
Did
That's
he actually write those though?
Yeah.
Or was he just a part of it?
Yeah, help.
He had help.
Did he do
Believe-
Wetworks?
No, that was Wills.
Well,
How much help did he have?
I don't know.
Like
What
a
was
lot
it?
of help? Or a little
Yeah.
help?
It was like probably.
like-
I'd have to open it up and see.
Like if you look at that early Gen 13, the early Wildcat stuff, it's decent stuff. It's solid stuff, but
was Chris Barrett talking about
Mm.
that phenomenal X-Men run?
That was Claremont.
Oh, maybe Chris Barrett's talking about the Jim Lee X-Men of the '90s, though, because that sold a lot of comics. For one, it had 4 covers plus the 5th gatefold cover.
But I'm not saying anything derogatory. He is a very talented artist. But what right does he have to be writing and in charge of a comic book company?
Yeah, like why is he, the one behind the wheel of the ship when he's the big art guy?
Yeah, at the end of the day, it'd be like saying, who did his? It's an inker versus an artist, right?
Yeah,
So I don't know. It's just my opinion. He drew, Thunder House Design. He drew them, but Claremont was the writer that writing that too. Jim Lee has no right to be an editor. In his opinion, he might. Fuck, I do.
I think you're onto something, because a guy, the editor, you would figure would be like a phenomenal storyteller, like say a Marv Wolfman or a Jeff Johns or a freaking Rob Guillory or a Don Rosa. I don't know.
How about this? My opinion,
Mhm.
since we have Jeff Johns left, right?
Yep.
Mhm.
So Snyder's a good writer, but he can't fit. And
He's a great writer, but he's got some stuff. Yeah.
but Grant Morrison is a proven writer.
Oh,
So why wouldn't you put him in charge?
oh, dude! I know me and this guy here. We love our Morrison, don't we?
I
Oh,
love
Carson's going face.
hold up on this thought here. Phenomenal writer.
Yep.
Grant Morris, I think we can all agree, phenomenal writer. But I don't know if anyone, like, if he's above the other writers, is there anyone who could figure out what's on his mind?
Yeah, 'cause
No.
he thinks widely outside of the box. He, his mind is like fucking 2 minutes into the future, while mine's only 5 seconds into the future. let alone like just normal people. They're
I thought it
just
was 5 minutes.
regular. But
I love
Shut up, Mark.
I love some good Grant Morrison, but
Oh.
here's the thing.
love
Grant
Grant
Morrison is kind of a wackadoo at the same time.
Yeah.
I love
He's
him,
awesome.
but he's a wackadoo. No, he is awesome 100%, but he's literally a wackadoo. And I've worked for crazy people before,
Married
and
me.
it's not that much fun because I mean, like, I literally, my current boss, she constantly is telling me, I need you to read my mind. I need you to read my mind. And it just gets to the point where you're like,
Weird.
no.
it's like
No, that's a scary, scary place.
you live with a guy that has los gatos en pantalones, man. He's got cats in his pants,
Not cat in his pants, cat in his sweater.
Oh,
Okay.
I
It
couldn't
wasn't bad.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay. The cat was in his hoodie. Okay. It was not that bad. All right.
It was comfortable.
But-
She fell asleep.
She did fall asleep.
This this guy's
But
No.
Hmm.
I feel like right now they need to find someone who, like what Jeff Johns did, where he got a whole group of people together. They need to bring someone in who a lot of people trust. We don't need like someone who's got their little core faction of 5 or 6 people. We need someone who is universally accepted as a fantastic creator and a leader in the field of comics.
I think Miss Explained has two good leaders right there.
I actually was going to bring up one of those two that he is bringing up right now. Peter J. Tomasi would be my pick personally. Give it to Tomasi. We interviewed him at Baltimore Comic-Con, and talking to him, you can see the love that he has for these characters, and it's the same love and the same passion that I have for
True
these
story.
characters. I talked to him at length about the fact that when I read his silent issue of Batman and Robin, I cried.
Oh yeah, me too.
Dealing with the death of Damian Wayne broke my heart. And the comics that I truly remember and the comics that I truly love that from DC are the comics that tore a part of my heart out and made me feel something.
Tomasi also told us a story though.
Yes, he did.
That was something that he has passion.
Mhm.
Like I forget what coach.
The family.
You have to have passion in anything you do. Be like, if you're going to do YouTube, for example, you got to be passionate about it. Passionate with, I mean, what Kat does on her channel with cinema figures. I mean, we bust Mark and Kat's chops all the time, right?
It's okay. I'm kind of used to it by now.
No, shut up, Mark. I'm talking.
Damn it.
But at the end of the day, like, they put out some cool stuff, but it's what they like. I mean, again, yeah, her taste in movies is awful.
No, it is not. Her taste in movies is amazing, Chad.
Look,
Shut the fuck up, Mark.
individuality is what makes us all strong.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll tell you, Peter J. Tomasi, he's got a love and he's got a
Really
fever
comics book display.
for these characters. And you can tell that the devotion to these characters and to their legacy continued is there.
So the story that I wanted to tell everybody, Kat, and you were there, Tomasi told us he was going through. We partnered up with John Engel from Pittsburgh Comics, and he had a bunch of old Silver Age and Golden Age books there that he was selling for what, $1 or something like that. But Tomasi was over there, and he literally rifled through every one of those boxes, and he bought stacks of comics. I think
I remember that.
2 long boxes of comics, and I'm like, dude, you don't have these books? Or no? He goes, you know what? This is something my brother did, and I do it too. Every day I take the train into New York, into Manhattan, and as I read the comic, I'd leave the comic on the seat in hopes that somebody picks it up and reads it, because that's how I read my first comic. That's somebody that's trying to,
to spread the love of the comic books to the
Yeah.
other people.
I mean, as a kid, if you found something, you're like, oh my God, this is amazing. This is awesome. This is going to be your favorite book.
Yeah.
And
You know what? That's what it's about, man. Chad, what was some of your favorites? That's the things when you went to the store and you grabbed that book as a little kid, and you just like, oh yeah, and you just had it and you loved it and you read it cover to cover, and you read it so much the damn thing ain't no 9.8 anymore, but it's been
there's
well
one
loved.
that it was like a Playboy, but it's you mean comics?
Yeah, man.
I'm sorry,
Not Playboys, man. This ain't Sable and Tori Wilson comic books, brother.
What's the matter?
What?
Oh, Mark just handed me
Oh.
something and I read it, and it's
Ow.
cool.
Went over their heads, Carson.
Is it in
What are
the
you
chat?
gonna do? Well, no,
No.
we do have Gore Vidal brings up a great point. The best editors aren't the best writers. An editor is a good reader who can point out the strengths and weaknesses of a story. Archie Goodwin, for example, did great work for Marvel, as is Karen Berger for DC's Vertigo. And boy, Karen, she did whip that ass on there. Very good.
I think DC also wants to get like mainstay writers into their staples, like big names,
Greg Berlanti.
write comics. I don't think that's going to work.
Well, I'll tell you one thing that's going to work. Hell yeah, right, Carson?
Oh, yeah.
Carson's quick on the mouse trigger. Thunderhouse Design, dropping the $4.99. Another great discussion on making Friday nights interesting. And that's what it's all about. Comic Core Roundtable, it's like we're sitting at the dinner table, not only talking to each other, but also talking to the chat as well, and getting a lot of your ideas on what you think DC ought to do as well, man. I could look at that chat, and boy, I think Gore Vidal would make a damn good editor-in-chief. Damn. I said damn. All right. I'm just like,
Mark's at the kid table. Come on up.
yeah, dude. Mark, how about you? I mean, what is one thing, Mark?
Wait,
that-
this is a good question.
yeah,
Mark, what would get you into comic books?
Mark, I know you've had
I
to read
would honestly want to see a comic book with Ace the Bat Hound and
Uh-huh.
Crypto.
Oh, just classic dog, maybe no word bubbles.
Did you ever
No
Did
word
you-
bubbles. I literally just
did
want to
you
see
ever
them go on
let-
an adventure.
Did you ever let him
That
read?
could be amazing.
Did you ever let him read the Super Sons issue with that?
Chad, you're assuming that I know how to read.
Yeah, probably not.
Pictures,
I
dude.
find that offensive.
I don't know if dogs know how to read. He does live in a box, and his end game is to live in a box or a crate with Crypto and Ace the Bat Hound.
That'd be pretty badass. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
do
they'd
you
be
want-
hu-
do
they'd
you
be
want,
dry
like, a
humping you all night
miniseries?
long.
I think a miniseries of those two dogs would be great. What'd you say?
Nothing.
Just
Just
mute,
great,
mute
great,
legend.
great answer.
Mute legend, everyone.
All right, I'll mute myself.
What did you
Anywho,
say?
we're gonna move on.
What-
Anywho, I agree with you. The super dogs could be fantastic. Maybe even just as a one shot or like a 3 or 4 issue miniseries.
No,
could
no,
be
no.
really cute.
They would have to battle Catwoman.
And call it Super Dog.
No. Have them battle
What's that cat's
Harley
name?
Quinn's hyenas, Bud and Lou.
Bud and Lou.
And
all
then
right.
you know what? They would use Squirrel Girl.
Mark,
as a
you talk
chew
too
toy.
much.
No,
Mark,
That's
Squirrel
Marvel.
Girl's Marvel.
that's
Mark,
Marvel.
That's the point.
And you just ruined it.
That's the
You
whole
were doing
point.
so
Mark,
good up
you were
until
okay.
that point, and then you just mentioned Marvel. And
Shut
it
up,
just-
Mark.
You know what? Use them as a chew toy. That's the point.
You officially just lost your status, Ben. I'm sorry.
It's like
You're
you're
doing so
married.
good there.
It's like you're married to Drew Manchu over there.
You're doing so good.
Yeah.
Keep using your hand gestures. I'm gonna keep mimicking you.
I talk with
Oh
my
my
hands. I'm
God.
sorry. You married me on purpose.
That's not sign language.
All right. So this is my moment. Carson, how's the? Oh, look, we just dropped like 5 people watching as soon as
Thanks,
Mark.
Mark.
Damn it.
Jesus.
Thanks, Mark.
I should not talk
Now,
anymore.
but keep in mind, fans, we're just joking because the thing of the
Yeah.
matter is we're so glad that each and every one of you are spending your Friday nights here at the table with us, man. This is what it's all about. You get this every Friday night, Comic Book Roundtable. We've had a kick-ass discussion tonight. I want to go around the panel and on the channel and see what people got going on their own channels real quick. Carson, you just came off a phenomenal Tuesday night live stream, over 20-something plus watching. How does it feel to be back in business?
Oh man, yeah, I had a big C2E2 recap on the Tuesday night live stream last week, and actually I have next Tuesday off. I guess I'll just keep doing these live streams until I get kicked off the air. So be back, Seawoodard, or youtube.com/Seawoodard19, Tuesday 7 p.m. Eastern, Tuesday night live stream. And also we got Modern Men on Monday night coming up. It'll probably be a premiere unless they kick me off. And then it'll be live, but I have to work Monday night. So we'll see. But nonetheless, I think we're going to go back to the movies. We're going to cover 2009 up until we cover the rest of the hour of Modern Men, basically. Last time it went like 2 hours because we did we're going to do 98 to 2008. And boy, we should just split that up. But we're going to do our best to keep the show 1 hour and go back to the movies. And we're going to read Magic Order from Mark Millar. That'll be fun. So check out Modern Men on Monday. We got a great read for that coming up. And have your randomizer suggestions ready on Monday. We like to take, actually, no, if it's a premiere, put them in the, go to the last Modern Men and put your suggestions in the comments below, and we will use those. So, yeah, thanks.
Awesome, man. So how about you, Cat Wren? What you got going on not only Cat Wren figures, but cinema figures?
All right, so Cat Wren figures, I got a couple things coming out hopefully sometime this weekend. I'm going to have some reviews coming out for Mercy, as well as a couple unboxings, different things like that going on. But right now on the cinema figures, we just did the relaunch for cinema figures, and we are currently going through the Friday the 13th franchise. I'm a little behind in it just because I had some issues with some technical difficulties with some music via YouTube, but I'm back on track, and the next one coming out is part 3. And it should be some fantastic goodness. I even got a new Jason mask here recently, so I'm super excited about that. You can if you want. I mean, it might scare some people, maybe some children, but gotta show the eyeballs. Anywho.
All right, so before I get on in.
Anywho, we are continuing on with the Jason Voorhees goodness. So if you haven't already checked that out, I would highly suggest it, because we already have Mama Voorhees, if you didn't catch all the references earlier. And we did get those Mama Bear sweaters going on.
Oh, and we also have taste testing.
Oh, yeah, we do. We do. Oh, I'm sorry, but Mark and Odin actually have a video coming out on Cat Wren figures. So that's gonna be good.
Am I being played off like?
Yeah, you are. Anywho, guys, what do you have on your channels coming up?
Well, I know, Chad,
we got something coming up tomorrow. You want to talk about it?
Yeah.
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 Sure.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, we got.
Do this.
So we actually have 3 pretty exciting piece of news to drop. So tomorrow night we are going to be doing our very first non-comic book show, but it is kind of a comic book show. It's the Comic Core, but we're introducing our first official paying sponsor tomorrow, and there's going to be a prize, pretty cool prize. Alcohol's involved, so that's pretty cool. 2, because Biggie Shack said I didn't have vape juice, and I don't have vape juice, but hey, guess what? We might have grain alcohol. Who knows? Named after the Comic Core.
Big shout out to Biggie Shack, the immortal one.
2, there is going to be a new show coming starring Carson and
What?
Yeah, that JD thing.
Oh yeah, okay.
Carson and JD are going to be doing some new untitled show. I don't know what it's about. I think it's an interview show.
Hopefully,
There
it's better than Whacked Out Wednesday.
Why are you throwing so much shade?
Why are you
bro?
throwing so much shade?
Damn.
Legend,
Straight
I
from the hip.
remember a day and age when you were trying to abandon the Friday night show to join the Wednesday
This
show.
is
You
true.
almost abandoned your saw.
He
for the
calls us up
Wednesday
on
show.
Fridays. He's like, I can't come. My horse
Friday.
is sick.
Every
My
Friday, there's
horse.
a new
Got a
excuse.
sick horse. I can't come to the Friday night show. Hey man, that was back
Good
then.
job,
But it
Bret
was
Hart,
Comics
dude.
Misexplained.
Horseshit.
It wasn't any of those other folks.
So no, we also have another show coming out apparently called Silvermen or Silverbacks.
Silverback? What?
I don't know.
Silver dollars? What?
Something silver. It's something about silver.
Say-
Age.
Oh,
$10.
Silver Age books, not like
Something
we had
borrowed,
Golden
something
Guys.
silver? What?
So you had
Yeah.
Golden Guys. Now we're could it be Silver Age Sundays? Wasn't that the name of it? Wasn't that supposed to be the gimmick? Silver Age Sundays.
Yeah, I think so.
No one
Wait.
copy that. No one
You
copy.
know, that means
And
that
then Mark, shut the fuck up.
He's fucking lit.
God
Dude,
damn it, Mark. Shut the fuck up.
Chad, I
All
love
right.
you.
And then we have something. I'm hoping by tomorrow afternoon we're able to announce it that we'll be doing a new show. It's going to be kind of unique. It's going to be a point counterpoint list type show. So, yeah, it's pretty exciting, and I know a lot of people that are into comic investing would really enjoy it.
So this show basically is more for the investor, possibly, you know, the one that might look out for certain modern keys that come out, and then possibly they can sell them down the line for a profit. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, but it's not the list isn't from us, so it's going to be an official list from somebody, and we'll get it before it gets published, and who knows? We'll see how it goes.
Well, fans, you know, this was a damn good show tonight, man. Kick-ass time, as always, on Comic Book Roundtable. The Great Legend, you want to see
Mark,
the Great
shut
Legend?
the fuck up. Legend's talking. Fuck.
You want to see the Great Legend? You know, all you got. God
Oh.
fucking damn it! Not this fucking screen again. All right, I finally could fix it. See, somebody had two of those in the shit yard, and so when I was clicking, and they were both turned on at the same time, so I kept clicking off of it. But then there was the one that was static, and I kept clicking the one because there was two of them, so I deleted. God damn! Fucking when I see that warning, it reminds me of like, warning, you're watching WWE. Roman Reigns is going to be on. I'm like, oh, he's God. Right? That's what needs to happen. That's what needs to happen to Roman Reigns. Chris Barrett. Someone click on Chris Barrett's comment before we close this show out, man. Whatever. Chris Barrett, yes, says, fuck the warning. That's right, man. Fuck the warning, man. Holy crap. But anyways, you can catch me live on YouTube. Well, no, actually, you can catch me live on the Comic Core. Check out some of the uploads you're going to see over there at youtube.com/r.95. Great Legend coming at you live with comics, cooking, and gaming and the truth. I got a lot of Fantastic Four Funkos, Fantastic Four Legends figures, all kind of Fantastic Four stuff to show because, like my main man, Mr. Gretzky 9966 says, no, he doesn't say that shit. That girl, that's White Whale's girlfriend right there. That's White Whale. That's a Whacked Out Wednesday. But anyways, fans, we've had a great time with you. Remember, Mondays, Modern Men on Mondays. They're going to take a look at-
Drew's got an auction.
All right. What day is that on?
Monday.
Okay.
Monday.
So maybe after, maybe before, you never know what you have in store on the Comic Core. You check out Drew's auction. Check out Modern Men on Monday. Tuesday, don't forget about Golden Guys, man. We got DS Comics, Knights of Old, Midwest Comic Man, and JD Comics, man. They're giving you some of the latest, greatest Golden Age stuff that they've picked up, and you can't get enough. And then, you know, Wednesday, the Wackos, Whacked Out Wednesdays, Weird Wednesdays, worst comic show ever on Wednesdays.
Oh my
Check 'em out.
God.
That show is so damn bad. You're gonna want to see it because it's like if you don't see it, you're going to be missing out. Everyone, it's like getting the virus, but it's Wednesday night. So make sure you watch Wednesday night. I still don't know what the show's about, but it's so god awful. You're going to want to check it out. Wednesday night, 9 Central, 10 Eastern. You're going to take your glasses off just like that guy, because you're not going to know what you've seen it until you've seen it. You know what I'm saying? And then, Thursdays, we got to have a night off. Fridays, comic book roundtable. Saturday night, make sure for the big freaking news, because all of you folks that are interested in really popular books, like, I'm not going to say, it's a list or anything, but I mean, you've made the list if you don't watch that video. So, man, we've got so much good stuff going on here on the Comic Core. Make sure, you like, share, subscribe. Hit that bell icon to know when the Comic Core is live. Fans, this is the Great Legend saying peace out, God bless, and I want to let all of y'all know we're ending the show with this kick-ass Bob's World outro. Matrix for life, motherfucker.